Excited for this conversation today. I hope I had about 300 people register for this today, so that's very exciting. Hi, Dharma, how are you? Um, and side note, I built something with AI today that literally left me speechless.
Did
So,
you try out design?
oh yeah, that I
Oh,
can't. Yeah, I can't even with that. Um,
good.
I um I have been really feeling like I wanted to have some sort of dashboard for everything that I do. And I had a call today, hi Michelle, um, with a potential new team member who builds automations and numerous other things he does. And it was our first call. And um he was nervous about talking to me. He's like, I've been following you for 3 years and I'm such a huge fan. I'm like, well, let me burst that bubble right now. Um, no reason to be a fan. You're amazing. I've dove into your work and some of the stuff that you've done. And so we just had this really great conversation. And he built a dashboard for the tailored AI OS before meeting with me. And I want to share that because he showed up to the call. He knew I was looking for a referral partner who actually builds automations. He knew that. And he said, can I show you something? And he showed me this dashboard based on my work. And he said, I built this for you. I've never been astonished like that with value. And it ties right into what we're going to talk about today. Hey, John, what's up? Great to see
What
you.
up? Hey, Suzanne. Hey,
Um,
everybody.
and so when I was thinking about the content for today for Hell Yes offers, when someone provides massive value to you without an ask, right? Like he just looked at my AI operating system and said, let's make this into a dashboard. Hi, Elsa. Hi, Gordon. Great to see you. Um, and he went ahead and did it and then showed it to me on the call. And he said, now this is just a prototype. I thought I was the only wackadoodle who did stuff like that for people. So I feel like I've met a kindred spirit, number one. But number two, it showed me what he's capable of doing. So that's note number one today for Hell Yes offers, that your initial contact with people, you're just meeting them, it's a discovery call or it's a get to know you call, has to be a value for the other person. And it's not your PDF, it's your insights, it's your how you perceive them. Of course, he had compliments for my content, but it was more that he took this initiative and said, here's what I can do with your operating system. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. So next call scheduled. So when we think about our own offers, and we're going to do intros today around the room, and what I want you to think about while I talk here for a second is how you can say, "Hi, I'm so and so, and my offer does this." Don't tell me the name of your offer. Don't tell me, the features of your offer. Tell me the transformation that it provides for your clients. So, for example, I'm Suzanne Taylor King. I'm a business coach who creates AI enabled entrepreneurs. And that's without any thought. That's just boom, off the top. What's the transformation that you provide? And number one, with Hell Yes, with offers that people say how do I work with you when you describe what you do? That's the goal. No sales call necessary, right? When people say, how do I work with you? That's the goal. Every time that has happened, it has been an offer, and this is a new frame of reference for all of you. It's been an offer that I created because I needed it. So let's think about that for a second. If your offer is created with other people in mind and you're not sure what they need or you're not sure what they want, it becomes a many year process, a guessing game, beta tests, da 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 da. But when you create something from in here that's from your own experience, you're able to sell it because you're the transformation. You are the offer. If you want to go back to that lesson, we're building upon that. So, number one, the hell yes test. How many yeses have you gotten within the past 10 times of making your offer? A hell yes offer earns an obvious, immediate yes from someone before they even know the price. If a prospect has to think about it, you're already not a hell yes offer. The work is in engineering that reaction without discounts or any pressure or any overcoming of objections. So that's the test that we're going to go through today. Let me let a couple more people in. Okay. So let's start by going around the room. 10 seconds or less, who you are and what your offer accomplishes for people. Hi, Rhonda. Hi, John. Great to see you. We're doing intros. What type, your name, what type of coach you are, and then what's the transformation that your offer provides. 3, 5 words max. Hi, I'm Suzanne Taylor King. I'm a business coach and I AI enable entrepreneurs. That's it. As quick as possible. Who's ready? We're ready? Yes? All right, John, you unmuted. John
Oh,
Daniels.
it's,
You
oh.
John Daniels first and then John Jew.
I'm John. I'm a digital marketing consultant. I use lean methodology to help you get more results with less marketing.
Love it. Very well. Very,
Okay.
very good. John Jew.
I'm John Jew from Sacramento, California, and I help elders and their caregivers get better health.
Awesome. Well done. Fran, followed by Annie.
I'm Fran Strickland, and I'm a business advisor, and I help mid-market companies get the return on their investment in performance and profitability for the money they spend to find solutions.
Awesome. Annie.
I am a business strategist in Wilmington, Delaware, and I help women decrease their decision fatigue by 50% and increase their productivity by 10%.
Awesome. Awesome. Michelle, followed by Dharma.
Hello, I am Michelle Hoover, and I am a coach for midlife women who have spent their entire life being everything for everybody. Remember who they are underneath all the expectations.
I love it. I love it. Where were you 15 years ago? Uh, let's go to Dharma and then we'll go to Elsa.
Hi, I am Dharma Funder. I am a senior advisor at Decision Access. I am clarity under pressure.
Very nice. I love it. Elsa, let's go to you and then Stefan.
Hey everybody, I am Elsa Johnson and I am a self-leadership advisor for business owners. And I help business owners become better decision makers through strong self-leadership.
Wonderful. Love it. Stefan, followed by Al.
Hello, hello. I am Stefan Durrett, and I am a warmth practitioner with my method, the warmth method, and I help high-performing individuals stay true to themselves. Thank you.
And one conversation with him, let me tell you, it felt like an hour and it was 3.5. So I know those people at Starbucks were thinking something was happening over at that table, but
Probably.
anyway, yeah, that's okay. Let's go to Al Chan, followed by Rhonda.
Hi, I'm Elton. I'm a talent scout from Malaysia, and I help aspiring wannabe actors to get acting gigs in Malaysia.
Nice. Do you two know each other? No.
Not yet.
Not yet, but we will
Oh,
now.
you will after today. Good, good, good. Let's go to Rhonda, followed by Gordon.
Hi, I'm Rhonda Taylor, and I mentor women in midlife who are ready to work from anywhere, travel solo, and design a location-free midlife on your terms.
Love it. That's a good transformation. Love it. Gordon.
Gordon D. Melville, confidential advisor. I'm the man successful men seek when success stops feeling like freedom.
That's good. That's good. And you can tell him anything, and he's literally like a bank vault. Love it. No judgment from Gordon. Okay. So now let's talk about our offers and how, I think one of the things I talk about a lot is excitement selling. If you're not excited about your offer, if you're not the living, breathing example of your offer, there's a disconnect energetically. So I can remember about 10 years ago putting my first business coaching offer together. I had been dabbling, giving business advice to my health coaching clients who were entrepreneurs. I worked at a gym, lots of professional athletes came there. I was coaching them. One owned a restaurant. I made a huge difference for him, but I had no confidence in the what is a business coaching program? I don't know. I've had successful businesses. What does that look like? I looked at what everyone else was offering in the space instead of creating from what I knew to be true. Problem number one, when you look at what other people are doing, assuming they're successful, I'm telling you, you don't know. It might look it. And I remember showing my husband one of those screenshots of like a PayPal that had $3 million in it from a launch. And I was like, look, I want that. I want to hire this guy. And my husband goes, you want one of those? I'll make it for you. And I was like, oh, yeah, might not be true. Right. So that grain of salt I didn't have back then. So I created a program based on what I thought people would want to buy. So where is that for you right now? Is what you're offering from here and from you and your journey, or did you create it based on what you think people need and want to buy? Let me know in the chat. Created from inside or outside? Inside or outside? And let me know in the chat. And then we're going to go to selling the result and not your damn modules or steps. Like I have an AI operating system, but I am never going to make a sale selling my 11-step system. Like nobody wants that. People don't buy mechanisms, and everybody that knows me knows people buy three things: more money, more time, or more sex, health and wellness, right? People want to be sexy and they will buy that. Just look at the beauty industry. They buy a vivid outcome they can picture owning. So when it comes to your own offer, I would love to hear from a couple voices in the room. When it comes to your own offer, what's the vivid outcome that your potential clients can picture in their mind? I want, oh, I want that. And it's got to be that feeling of awe, right? Anybody's visited a national park like Yosemite or Yellowstone, and you get out of your car and you're like, oh, that's how people have to feel. They have to feel awe and inspiration when it comes to that vivid outcome. Who wants to share your vivid outcome?
I'll go for it. I have something.
Yeah. Okay.
There's something that happens when clients work with me when something clicks into place. Like I work with them, they have their website, they have their Go High Level set up, they have all the contacts. So I kind of walk them through it. And at a certain point, a light comes on in their eyes where they become internally motivated to go sell. Right? Like
Yeah.
there's because before that they have this friction. It's like, I don't know if I should do this. I don't know what doesn't, it's like, oh, the button doesn't work, and where's this thing, and I can't find the thing. But you get it all grooved in, and it's like work with the person to configure it. There's a light comes on, and they're like suddenly they're excited to go and talk to people. They're excited to go and book calls because they book the call, the thing flows in, and they're like, it feels like a video game to them. The technical detail is completely different for each human, but that there's that experience that they're just like, whoa, like I want to go sell stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, like, could that be it?
Well, let's confirm that in real time. Gordon just finished working with John. And Gordon, do you feel more excited to go sell your stuff?
I've been excited for the 2 weeks waiting for it to happen. Yes, absolutely. Well, and seeing it come to light, right? Like you have an idea in your head, and then when they show it to you and you're like, oh my God, that's way better than I had in my head, because I know in my head what I think I can do, which is pretty much nothing. So when they do it, it's like, holy fuck, look at that. It's amazing. It's freaking unbelievable. And then, I want to put it everywhere. I literally, on the day that him and Kimmy said, yep, it's good, I was like, perfect. And I was texting it out and emailing it out and sending it to everybody. Have you seen this?
Put it in the chat, because now everybody wants to see Gordon's website. It's incredible.
I don't know if I have it in here.
Well, I got it.
I was going to say, John can do that for me.
I got you.
my team has it.
My team has it. Yeah, I like that answer. Anyone else want to share that vivid vision? What does that look like to be excited about? John, yeah, I know. You're excited about your offer, and you're a living, breathing example of your offer. So in my mind, all you need to do is be showing who you are health-wise to other people. More videos, more conversations, and more telling people, look what I could do, and I'm 76 years old.
Yes. And it's going to be the added ingredient about who I'm becoming with clarity and confidence is to be able to convey that to my clients to the point where, oh, look at he's having so much fun playing golf. Look at his golf swing at 77 to be is such as it is. I want some of that. I want to have that feeling that, hey, this is like a lot of fun. Yeah. And that's where I'm at right now is, it's been a struggle, not a struggle as much as a continuation of how I can get this message within me to my clients in such a way that I just embody it. Like you just said, Suzanne, getting that example, leading by example. And now I'm at a point where, hey, I can make a lot of birdies out there.
Yeah. Question. So I have an influencer who I've become friends with after he was on my podcast last year, and he wrote the book Get the Meeting, a phenomenal book for those of you that don't have it. It's a book full of unique ways to get a meeting with another person. And it's stellar, unique things in there. It's kind of funny. He's got a really great sense of humor. So he had a near-death experience 2 years ago and decided when he came back from that he was going to be in the best shape of his life for his 70th birthday. Well, he had his 70th birthday a couple months ago, and he's writing a book about his journey. So he messaged me and he said, I know you've been on quite the fitness journey the last 2 years. You used to be somebody who was in really, really incredible shape and you had to work to get back there. Can I ask you some questions? So, John, I want to introduce you to him so he can ask you those same questions at 76. And it's a research project right now for a book, but you never know where the relationship can go. So I want to make that connection and then just show up and be your vibrant self, because this man is incredibly vibrant at 70, and I think it'll be great for you.
Thank you.
And when I say excited about what you do, when Stu reached out to me, the email, like, I don't answer emails like this ever, but because I knew him and knew what he'd been through, and he said, I'm putting a focus group together to talk about eating, moving, sleeping, and exercise after 50. And I'm like, I'm in. And that's exciting for me. Now, I talk about this all the time about being in environments that have nothing to do with your business. So this room full of people, nothing to do with me as a business coach. It wasn't networking. It was nothing like that. It was just Sue showing up, answering questions, talking with the room about fitness, nutrition, and 5 people from that room. Who are you and what do you do? Afterwards, connecting with me on LinkedIn, going to my website, asking me about my job because of showing up excited and energetic about how I take care of myself. Well, that's amazing. So if you're not currently in rooms that aren't networking, go find a hobby. And if any of you know of somebody that has an online, on Zoom, comedy or improv class, I need to meet that person. Or somebody willing to do that. That would be amazing. Gordon, go ahead.
One quick thing about we're all trying to come from a place, and we talk about becoming. And something I heard this morning, and I was like, you know what, that resonates huge with me. I believe that we can't become who we already are, right? So that means that I was talking to somebody about seeds, and we're talking about acorn that I always talk about. And it occurred to me, when is that acorn an oak tree? Does it wait till it's already there, like grown up and it's 50, it's 100 years old or whatever, it's 100 feet in the ground? Or was it already an oak tree inside the seed? It was already the oak tree inside the seed. That means we're already who we're supposed to be. We're not becoming anything. We're exposing who we already are. And when I use that as a lens, it completely shifts some of the struggles I have, some of the things that I think about, some of the how I look at myself even, right? If I look like I'm in process, maybe I'm not done yet, in which case I'm incomplete somehow. We're not. We're fully complete just the way we are. We may not see that yet, but it's already right there.
Thank you. Yes. John, go ahead.
I just wanted to add on real quickly to what Gordon just said, and what you said before that was go to a comedy improv. Last week I went to my very first Toastmasters meeting, and I just got up and spoke, volunteered for 2 minutes, and it was just who I was, embodied who I was. And when you said go to a comedy improv, I said, wow, that'd be fun, but that's not me. But
Yeah.
actually, Gordon says, yes, it is. It's within you. So thank you for all that.
Awesome. Elsa.
Yeah.
Well, John, we are all improvers. I've been formally taking classes for 4 years. So yes, we are all improvers. But I think to Gordon's point is, I think the difference between the acorn and the full tree is understanding that, yes, we are complete, but circumstances have to happen in us to fully blossom. If we don't seek the water, if we don't grow our roots to seek the nutrients, if we don't, we have a big responsibility in how our lives progress.
Yeah.
And that's
100%.
I think is one of the important things to remember. Yes, we have it all in, we are it all, and now go get it.
Yeah.
We have to keep our circumstance, right? If I put that acorn on the driveway, it's going to get some light and some water, so it might pop open, but it's never going to reach its potential because of its circumstance.
Yeah.
The challenge for us is that we have control of that circumstance. Where am I going to put myself? Right. And then the dirt that you put the acorn in the ground, you're burying it. It's pulling its nutrients it needs to grow from that dirt. The challenges we all have, the circumstances we live through, are the dirt that we pull nutrients from to grow.
Yeah.
But a lot of times we push back on those challenges. I don't want the challenges. It's like, no, embrace the challenge. It's going to make us grow. But to your point, absolutely. If I put that acorn in a planter box, again, it'll grow, but it'll never reach its potential because of its circumstance. Right? We have to put ourselves in the right place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Love that. Michelle.
I wanted to add on to that a little bit of conversation that I like to think of the person being exactly who they are. And as you've gone through your life, kind of going through those circumstances, it's like people have had an expectation of you. And it's like they've placed a little post-it note with a script about who you are and what you need to believe. And you reach a point in your life where it's your turn to take those post-it notes and pull them off and go, is this still representative of who I want to be? And it's a matter of releasing everything that isn't who you are. And those circumstances that are coming at you are creating that contrast so that you can see where you need to maybe release something, a belief that you're no longer needing to carry. And those circumstances are coming to you to show you where you can grow.
I love that. I love the idea of those external, thoughts and beliefs that we stick on to ourselves. Like, I know there's probably enough to cover your whole body, right? Like, and what does that look like to remove those? That can be a really powerful exercise. Love it. Thanks, Michelle. Good coaching there, miss. All right. So your first activity from today is to think about the actual ROI of working with you. I wrote an article today for my Substack, which I'm going to put in the chat. If you didn't see it, it was about how I charge $60 an hour for the longest painful amount of time as a coach, because of what I believed about myself and the value of what I was doing. And there was one client in particular, a health coaching client. I cooked for him. I grocery shopped for him after his wife died, made all the meals for his kids, put them in the fridge, labeled, and trained him physically 3 times a week. And he was paying by the hour for my time. And he said one thing to me after a year of me, it was about $500 a week from him. He said, this has been worth $1 million to my life. And I was like, wait, what? And he said, you know that fishing boat I have that cost $850,000? And I was like, uh-huh. Like, please don't sell it because I'm loving the tuna. But no, he said, working with you has been more valuable than that boat. And my children are thriving because they have the right food and the right influence around them when you see them 3 times a week. And I was like, oh my God. Right. So I created a little calculator and it's in that article. And what it's going to help you calculate is the ROI of working with you. And I want you to really feel into this. Get a couple of your best clients and what transformation happened for them. And we're talking financial transformation right now. Emotional and well-being and living happier are all wonderful transformations. But when we're calculating our worth and our price, and we want to tie it to the financial ROI of our clients, we need a math problem. I hate to tell you, right? If people are going to spend 5,000 or 50,000 on something, it has to have a value to that person that's higher than the amount you're charging. Period. That's why low ticket things now are so insane. They are ridiculously full of value. If you actually look, I bought something recently that was $27. And what I received, I emailed the girl immediately. Now, the reason I bought it for $27 is because I have somebody who's thinking about going into that field that she does, and they didn't understand funnel. They didn't know what it was. So I sent them her link. I'm like, look, she does what you do. Here's an example of what is possible. And I downloaded this thing, and it wasn't a PDF. It was actually a Claude skill that was incredible. And I messaged her and I said, from one skill creator to another, stellar job, incredible output. I said, that Claude skill is worth $1,000 easily. She said, oh, I know. But I want people who understand that. And I said, so why not price it at $1,000 so people will understand how much it's worth? And she said, well, then nobody would buy it. I said, not true. I would have bought it if I knew what the output was. Her sales page did not sell the result. So she has to sell it cheap, $27, in order to get people to buy it. So when we think about a hell yes offer, it has to have an ROI, because the buyer can't argue with what the output is. They can argue about the price, but they don't argue, or you'll get a lot less no's if people know the outcome. And that goes right into premium positioning here. Who do you want to be in your coaching business? Do you want to be the person that sells something for 27 and then 47 or then 97? It sounds like a lot of work to me. And premium buyers, the really quality clients, are not scrolling social media for a cheap solution. I'm going to tell you that right now. Tried it for years. Doesn't work. They buy on identity and status. Who is this offer going to help me become? And is it premium? And is it going to be worth my time? If you charge $1,000 for something Do people think it's worth it over something that's 27 or over a free call? We had a conversation in my coaching group about paid strategy sessions this week. I only had 3 $1,000 strategy sessions this month. Now, prior months, I had 20 to 30 free discovery calls or get to know you calls. Don't do them anymore. Done. No. You want to get to know me, come to one of my events. Here's a guest pass. 3 $1,000 discovery calls. How many new clients do I have? 3. Because they were people who wanted my solution. They wanted my insights. They got my reports. They got 90 minutes with me. And then what they saw afterwards was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I need to work with you. And I didn't even sell them anything. At the end of the call, I just said, I will email you your full report and your next steps if you're interested. One person said, what are next steps? I said, you're going to get your 90-day plan and your other reports. And if you need help implementing it, we book another call and we talk logistics. I don't need another call. How do I work with you? Because they invested in themselves for the call. I showed up exactly the same. So if you're tired of giving away your best presents for free, how many of you are tired of giving your best conversations, your best insights out to people who really didn't hear you in the first place because they didn't invest? All right, last, and then we're going to go into some breakout rooms and play. Discounting. If you're offering discounts, beta testing, that's all a necessary process at some point in your coaching business. And I would argue it's still important to test offers. But offering a discount that's visible on your website or a coupon code, it quietly erases authority. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. If you're going to have a brainstorm session with someone and it's going to be 90 minutes and you're going to spew out all of your value and their note taker is going to suck up a year's worth of coaching in a 90-minute call, learn to sell it instead. And so if the gap is, and this is profound for me, I hope it is for you, if you're still giving away get to know you calls and free calls. Now, I'm not saying don't meet with potential referral partners. That's something different, but just random connections. Oh, hey, Sue, you want to meet this cool person? They want to talk to you. No, thank you. But the stance is when you charge for the transformation or the brainstorm session, or you have the boundaries around it. Hey, Bob, I'll be happy to give you 15 minutes and I'll need you to fill out this form so I can serve you best in those 15 minutes. If they don't fill out the form, you're not getting 15 minutes. Then it means nothing to you. But if you really want me to make a difference in your business, let's do a strategy session. Here's the link to that. You can learn about it, learn about what you get. Instead of cutting the price for him, standing in that price, knowing they might say no, is the most powerful thing you can do for your business and your positioning, mind you. It protects your brand that you're building. All right. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go into some breakout rooms, and all we're going to do is test each other's hell yes offer and name the price to your partner. I'm going to put you, let's see, how many do we have here today? Let me do my breakout rooms. And what we're going to do is test your uncomfortable price. Whatever you currently charge, write it down on a piece of paper right now so you can't cheat. Write it down what you currently charge for your highest ticket engagement, whether it's 3 months or a year, whatever that looks like. Write it down on a piece of paper right now, please and thank you. Now you have the number. Everybody's agreed. They wrote down the number. Add a 0. That's what you're going to practice saying. Okay, listen, Mary made me do this and it was super uncomfortable. Super uncomfortable, right? Who wants to share what their current price is and what it looks like with a 0? Rhonda. Unmute yourself. Go ahead. Let me have it.
My initial offer or my bigger?
Your highest ticket offer, where are you currently?
$797 for a 4-week program.
Okay. Add a 0. How's that feel?
Not possible.
Oh, totally possible. Totally possible. Totally possible. What does everybody say about that? Totally possible. For how long? How long of an offer? 7 weeks?
4.
4 weeks. Oh yeah, totally possible.
Yeah. Rhonda, my gut feel when you said 797 for 4 weeks was suspiciously low.
It initially was $14.97. And I said, no, that's too much. So I lowered it to $797.
Okay.
What told you it was too much?
You know, I'm not sure because it's totally worth $14.97. But then I start thinking about, you know, wanting to lower it to because people don't know me, because I'm a new coach. I'm not new with the lifestyle. I'm not new with my experience. I've been living this life for 10 years and I know what I know, but they don't know me. And so I think I have to lower my price.
They're going to judge you based on that number though. So in a financial world, I had a $10,000 or $10 million insurance and $20 million investment when I was in that world. If it was $50 or $100 or $1,000 and they had $5 million invested, they discount your advice no matter how good it is because it was too cheap. So an advisor that charges whatever $100,000 to work with them, they go, okay, they must be a really good advisor because they're charging $100,000.
Yes.
That was the hardest thing, and SDK helped me with that too, because my brain went, what is everybody else charging? And so I used my AI, I did some research, I talked to people, I found out, and I just about choked, Rhonda, I just about choked when it said, okay, so your new 1-to-1 offering is 6 to 8 weeks long, that finite container, that's all it is, 2 months max. They can have 5 or 6 sessions, unscripted, because it's not therapy. It's not every Tuesday at 2:00. You let me know when you need to talk, but only 5 or 6 inside of 8 weeks max. I'm like, okay, what does that cost? Between $200,000 and $350,000. And I spewed my tea out of my mouth at my computer because I'm like, well, for less than 2 months. I couldn't, and funny thing to SDK's point, it said 200 to 350, and I'm using 200 as the right. Even I'm going, oh man, that shit. What's the low end of that? Because that sounds like a ridiculous amount of money to me, right? But I can tell you when I say that, I've said that to 3 Major League Baseball players, and one of them went, yeah, whatever. It didn't even faze him. He didn't even know. There was none of that.
Yeah.
Yep, okay, whatever. And he moved on, right?
And that's the pricing, your business model and your ideal client and the offer all go together. So if your ideal client is a professional athlete and it's less than $100,000, they think you're an idiot and you don't know what you're doing. I'm telling you,
Exactly right.
like I've
That's
talked to
exactly right.
them, and one of my clients is a personal trainer, rehabilitation trainer for professional athletes. And I said, "How much are you charging?" He said 50 to 150 grand, depending on the engagement. I was like, "Good. All right, perfect. I can work with that." Because if your ideal client and your price don't line up, I had this happen for a long time. They think you're too cheap. You must not know what you're doing. And I really want to stress that. So, John, Jew, your ideal client is over 50 or 60. They've spent their life working and they are fat and out of shape. Now they want to retire and enjoy life and they can't. And just imagine this scenario of a 300-pound guy trying to swing a golf club at 65. It's not a pretty sight. They have money, John. And the beautiful part is if you're confident in your own transformation, that's the only one we're worried about, them investing to be like you, that's the offer. Look what I could do all day long. You showed your golf swing on that video. I was sold. My husband needs to come work with you. And because that's that intersection of improving your health and vitality, right? And what do people buy? More time, more money, or more health. You cover all three of those with your program. So the ideal client has to be somebody who has spent their life working for retirement, and now their retirement's going to suck because of their health. Those people have money and they don't want it for free because they want to be held accountable. So when you think about that for yourselves, is there a mismatch? And John, did you have a question? Your hand's up.
I did.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just loved what you said. I get that. One thing that Gordon said that that I need a little more clarity on is everything comes from within ourselves about how we work with our clients. And when he said they will look at you with judgment on your price, I've changed my outlook on that. And instead of looking at people with judgment myself, I changed that to compassion. Judgment for me closes doors, compassion opens doors. So if that person looks at you with some kind of judgment about your price, then that, can you just say that's not your client? Can you just say, out of here? And so don't even think about, I'm thinking, just don't even think about those clients who are going to judge you with your price. Just give your price because that's your confidence and that's your clarity.
Yeah.
Even people, to your point, John, even people that I only have two boxes, right, to qualify to work with me. One is that you're ready to do the work, because lots of people want the result without doing the work. Or are you ready to do the hard work? Because it's not easy. Ask SDK. Ask John. They've been through it. They know. Are you ready to do the hard work is one box. The other box is, can you afford me? Those are the only two boxes. So if they're self-sorting, to your point, that I've said to people that are willing to do the work and have the dough, they've said no, or I've said no to them because they still weren't ready, even though their mouth said, yes, I'm ready to do that work. They're proving by their action, no, they're not ready. They have all the dough. They are my avatar, right? But to your point, absolutely. It's not a judgment from me. They're looking at the number and going, that's not enough for what I'm right? I'm looking for somebody that's exclusive, or I'm looking for somebody that anything under 100 grand on these big ticket things, they look at as expensive coaching. That's just the reality of it. So they discount it. Maybe judgment's the wrong word. It's a discount. They discount it. They don't even look at it because it's not expensive enough. Right. I would, for Rhonda, I would take the price to 2,500, maybe even $5,000.
Yeah. I just want to jump in here with something.
For 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, I'm charging 200 for 8 weeks.
Yeah. Because it's not about the time. Here's the mental gymnastics. It's like what you do, how much time has got nothing to do with it. It's about the value that somebody has. So what happens is, like, you're used to doing a certain thing for a certain group of people, and that's what you think reality is. But there's another group of people somewhere that value you completely differently, based on what you do, you know. So but the exercise STK does do, it forces you to increase your price. What always has to happen is you need to leave the kingdom you're in and go and find people that actually value you. And it's one of the hardest things to do, because it means it's like, yeah, there are people that value that, but you don't know them yet. You have to go and find them. And you have to go, so you have to almost reset your entire peer group to go and find those people. When you walk into a room of people that go, oh my God, you've arrived. I had this thing when I do digital marketing stuff. So I do digital marketing. I think I've got good at it. And I had this offer. I thought it was amazing. It's like, I will give you I'll guarantee 100% ROI on your thing. And it was a £6,000 offer. It was just like $10,000. And I was trying to close this businessman. And he was like, I could see he was chewed out. So I just stopped and said, listen, I can feel it's not landing. What am I missing here? And he said, 100% ROI on £6,000 is nothing to me. I can do that in the morning. I can do that with one YouTube live. So I said, what are you actually trying to do? And he said, I'm trying to sell my business for $30,000. For $30,000. No, I'm trying to sell my business for £3 million. That's what he's actually trying to do. So he's trying to pay me to validate the metrics that validate his sale. So it's the exact same work, but he was valuing it differently because of who he is and what my thing does.
Yeah.
So the service that you're offering, you need to be in the rooms where people are, which often means you need to be in different rooms. Like, no one will pay that money for you. And that's exactly the challenge. You need to go leave your kingdom. The Bible says you must leave the kingdom. Leave and that's the big reset. It's like, oh, there are these people out there, but you don't know any of them yet. And this is what it forces you to do. That's the same thing when you said, I have a $7,000 offer and you make me sell for $70,000. It's like, oh, great. I need to go and find completely different people.
Yeah.
I need to be in different rooms. It's
and it's uncomfortable. I mean, I'm not saying this is easy or comfortable or an overnight process. Have I had a couple clients who started with me at 25,000 for the year and looked at me and said, okay, it's 100. Yes, they did. And within a month sold $100,000 offer, because it's the decision, right? Dharma teaches this decision access map. And it's literally not the feelings you're having about the decision. It's making the decision and not letting, the insecurity hold you back from that decision. Elsa, go ahead. We were going to do breakout rooms, but this is so good.
I think two things happen in the moment that we have to say this price. First of all, as I put in the chat, our money story. Will we pay this? Like, when we were at that stage, would we pay what we're offering, right? Maybe not. But so now if we wouldn't at that point pay for it, then we have not created the ROI. Then we have not created a visible ROI for them to actually pay it. Because at no point in time in your life if you were thirsty and somebody had a bottle of water, you will pay $5, you will pay $10, you'll pay $15 if you're dying of thirst. Because you know what that does. The other thing is, we have to absolutely 110% believe the value of what we say, what we are offering. If we do not believe it ourselves, That's why we can't say, oh, it's 100,000 or 10,000 or 50,000. Because if we don't believe that it has the potential for that value for somebody else, then the energy is not behind what you're selling.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I
much of
believe-
this is the energy, for sure.
I believe what I sell can increase profits for somebody, even though I'm not a business coach. I absolutely know it's true, and I have proof that it's true for somebody.
Love it. How did it feel when you added a 0 to what you currently charge?
Oh, I must say it goes a little bit from 10,000 to 100,000. That feels a little like that. Yeah, especially for the time period. But
yeah,
I think it's also a matter of how do you actually communicate it. And I think that when you are in coaching, we have to start with 2 questions. What do you actually want at the end of this? What does this outcome look like for you? Where are you going to be when you have worked with me? What are you hoping for? Right? What are you hoping that I can help you with? And then number 2 is, how would you know you have achieved it? Because if you cannot point out saying, oh, I want to be happier. Okay, how do you know that you're happier? I can't help you be happier if you don't know what it's going to feel like.
Yeah, that's a Dan Sullivan question. We run into each other on the street 3 years from now. What are you going to tell me?
Yeah, so if you say you can, those are all very easy questions I can answer.
Yeah.
Then you are pricing it too low. And like Daniel said, and you are subconsciously reaching out to people who can't afford it, because that's safe. And I'm saying this just as much to myself as I'm saying it to you. We are subconsciously reaching out to people and rejecting ourselves before they have an ability to reject us.
Yeah, so maybe all of you could make a oh shit list. 5 to 10 people who you'd be scared shitless to talk to or reach out to or sell your services to. That sounds like a fun game I'm willing to play. And it's harder to do in person. It's easier in the online space. And a LinkedIn message doesn't count. A video message, maybe. So let's get on that. Gordon, go ahead, and then we'll go to you, Dharma.
Just a quick thing to build a little bit off what John said and then into what Elsie said. It's Elsie talked about a bottle of water. If you have a bottle of water and buy it at Costco, I can buy a 42 for $3.50. But if I go to an NBA game, it's $9. If I get on a plane, it's $15. It's the same bottle of water. The only thing that makes the difference is the environment it's in. So to John's point, being in a different environment, maybe they only see you as $3.40 for thousands of you because coaches are a dime a dozen. But if you're in the right room, that same bottle of water can be viewed at $15.
Yeah.
So it just depends on where we're sitting, right? And I think sometimes the confidence, our own self-confidence. Yes, we have to believe in the product. Yes, we have to believe we can make a difference for them. But we have to remember that's the big difference between therapy and coaching or mentorship. One of the big ones. Therapy, the people they talk to are patients. They're not clients. And the onus is on the therapist to make the difference in the patient. In coaching or mentorship, I can lead the horse to water, but I can't put a bathing suit on him. the onus is not on us to make the change. So I can lead them to it. I can try and help them and bring the path along. But at the end of the day, I had somebody tell me the other day, hey, I give you a huge, huge credit because you helped me do this and this and this. And I'm like, no, I appreciate that. I received that, but I only will take 10% of the credit because you did 90% of the heavy lifting. I didn't do that. You did it. I just showed you a path. You took it. Now, the opposite is also true. If I show you the path and it doesn't work, I only take 10% of the blame. You did 90% or didn't do 90% of what was laid out in front of you. But a lot of times we want to take it on ourselves to make the change in the other person. I can't control anybody but me.
Yeah.
So I can to say to somebody, I can guarantee you that's BS. There's no way, because it's at least in coaching and mentorship, it's the onus is on them, and they're a client. They're not a patient. Right. If I'm going to a therapist, sometimes I'm embarrassed to tell anybody else. If I see them in the grocery store and they say hi, I may not tell my wife or my kids or whatever who that is. Right. But a coach or a mentor, they'll tell everybody, hey, how you doing? Yeah, that's my coach, that's my mentor. Right. We tell everybody that because we're clients. We're not patients.
Yeah. Dharma, go ahead.
I think the most important thing for each and every single one of us is how much did you invest dollar-wise, emotionally, for your capacity, for the family, for everything that you are offering? What goes into that? You have studied. I know you've gone to school. You have lived it. You have done it for what now, Rhonda, just to kind of pick on you, sorry, but 10 years? Is it easy to pull it off? No, it's not, because I know you and I have had a few conversations, and I know that it sounds glamorous to do what it is that you are offering. But everything that goes into all of that, to plan it, to get it all, that is what you're offering. And what Gordon is offering, and John blew my mind away when I had my conversation with him. My website completely transformed. That is what we buy. It's the solution to have everything that you had to go through so that I don't have to repeat it. We forget that when we're sitting there in front of these clients, these individuals. They're in front of you because they want what it is that you have. Suzanne said it earlier. They want something that you have. What is it that you have? How can I get that? That's what we're offering. And it's not just something that you pulled out of a vending machine.
Right.
No, it is actually true value. That's what goes into the offer. That's what they're walking away with. You're taking their problem and you're giving them the solution, and you're giving them a shortcut to experience that brightness, that brilliance, so that they don't have to go through the years of learning, researching, whatever it is that we are offering. We are that light. We are that solution. All we got to do is believe in it.
And each of you is a product of your own work and your own transformation. And it could be different in a year. You could be different in a year. You could be different in 5 years, and maybe your offer changes or goes up in value or changes price. That's entirely possible, because this journey never ends. Like, I'm not there. I might be farther along than some of you. I might not be. But it's the vibration of carrying, knowing who you are, knowing the transformation that you provide. Bye, Elsa. Gordon, and then we're going to wrap up.
Just one quick thing. We talk about all the experience, and that was something that I battled with a lot. How do we price? So what are they actually paying for? Partly to Dharma's point. What are they actually hiring you for? Because it's not about our time. I don't believe it has anything to do with us. What they're buying has nothing to do with us. At least to my mind, they're not reimbursing me for my time or my decades of experience, or not. It has nothing to do with that. If I go into a donut shop, we have Tim Hortons. If I go into a Timmy's and I ask for a coffee and a donut, do I look at them and say, hey, I need the ingredients list of both of those products, and I need to know what the process is that you go through to make the donut and the muffin and the coffee? No, I walked in for what? I even walked into the store or went through their drive-through with one thought in mind. It wasn't what their ingredients are or what their processes or how they've been around since 1964. I don't give a shit. It doesn't mean anything to me. What I'm paying for is the result. I want the enjoyment of drinking the coffee and eating the donut. That's all. How that happens or how they facilitated that, I don't give a shit. And none of my business. I don't care. I want the result. And for as somebody that charges a high ticket number, if they can do that work in 5 minutes, perfect, because they were the ones that did the work. If it takes 3 years, that's on them. That has nothing to do with me. I can lead them, but if they don't pick it up and do it, it doesn't matter. And as soon as I look at it to Dharma's point and to SDK's point about what is the result, that's the offer. It has nothing to do with you. It's what will working with Gordon Douglas Melva, what will that produce in the client? What could it produce in the client if they do exactly what I asked them to do?
Yeah.
That is the offer. And anything else, when I say, well, this is what my certifications or whatever, I said to a guy recently, he wanted my certifications, and I'm like, I can send them to you, but they don't mean anything. And he's like, yeah, they do. I'm like, no, they don't. And he goes, yeah, they do. Why do you think they don't? And I said, do you know somebody with an eye chart behind their name that you wouldn't inflict on your dog? And he started laughing. He goes, I know a bunch of people like that, actually. I'm like, okay. Do you know anybody with no certifications and probably didn't finish elementary school that rocked your world? And he got quiet for probably 30, 40 seconds. And then he goes, you know what? I miss my grandma so much. She dropped out in grade 3. And like, so it doesn't matter. My credentials don't matter. What matters is, do you trust me to help you get to where you said you wanted to go? And if you believe I can, then you hire me. If you don't, and that's no problem. I'm good with it either way, because that's what they have to do, the work, right? We all know people that are amazing at what they do, but don't connect with us for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Right. And that's okay. That's absolutely okay.
Yeah.
It just makes it harder. It just makes it easier to price. If I'm going to try and price for hourly or for what I've learned or what I've spent to get the information, they can't pay what you're worth, because you have infinite worth and value. I'm back to infinite worth and value. They can't pay that.
But if you want to do a little equation that somebody had me do a while ago, just on a piece of paper, how much have you spent on coaching and training? How much for every book that you've read? How much for every year of life experience you're bringing to the table? What about the number of hours? I have 20,000 hours one-on-one coaching with people. The minute that ticker went to 10,000 hours, my price went up. When it hit 20, it takes a long time to get 20,000 hours of coaching. The price goes up again. Like it's the hairdresser rule, right? You got a full book of business and you've been doing it for another 5 years, the price goes up. And it doesn't mean if you're a beginner, you charge nothing, but the more experience you have and the more you can stand in that, I know that when I'm excited about working with somebody, when I know I can make a difference, I've put my money where my mouth is. I've said, look, I'm so confident that I can get you to X, I will do it for a commission. Do you believe in yourself enough to pay me 20% of whatever you do each month over and above what you're currently doing right now? And some people say no. They will literally say no. And that's okay. That's how I know you're not ready to do the work. If I'm willing to say, look, I believe in you more than you believe in you, let's go. Doesn't happen often. I don't do that with everybody. But when you believe in your offer enough to say, look, I'm so confident I can get you to income in 90 days. Are you willing to do what I say every day for 90 days? If they say yes, they get a WhatsApp channel with me and I help them for 90 days. And they say, how much is it? Did I say anything about money? I'm testing you. I'm testing you to see if you'll do the work. What's your test for people? What does that look like? And then what does it look like? I shared the link to the worksheet for today. There's some reflection questions, and I would love to continue this conversation in the school group. If you're not currently in the school group, message me. We'll get you in there. Oh, Dharma, how many people?
I have actually worked with about 20,000 people, a total of 7,500 hours.
Wow.
I'm a little blown away. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's just, yes.
I love that. I love it. And when you're adding up your numbers like this, if you've spoken on stages or spoken to groups, all those people count. That counts towards your experience. How many networking events have you been to that didn't result in one meeting or one ROI benefit for you? I know it's a lot because I did it too. But going to my connections peer group, research group about his new book, I met in that room 6 CEOs of Fortune 1000 companies that he's friends with. They never meet somebody like me. They're not on social media. They're not scrolling LinkedIn looking for an AI business coach. But guess what? When they met me in the room, they're like, I have questions about AI. And I said, I have answers. Book a time. It's fun. It's fun. And I think if we're having more fun, we sign up more clients. So if your current offer doesn't feel fun to you, maybe it's time for a makeover. Reflect on that. Reflect on the extra zero at the end of your price. See how that feels. And give me feedback. I'd love to know where you get to based on this conversation. Gordon, final takeaway.
For me, it still comes back to understanding who you be and what your worth and value is. Because once you have that and you anchor it, the rest of, well, a lot of the other things sort of flow from that. Yeah. You'll show up different, right? If you understand your royalty already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I call myself a eudaimonologist, because that's who I'm being. And if you can't say it, cool. It starts a great conversation. Like, what the hell is that? And my branding person, mind you, who many of you might know, she's a member of the group. She said, you can't call yourself that. Stop saying that. Don't put that on your LinkedIn. Nobody knows what that is. And I said, exactly. I don't want anybody to know what it is, because if they're too dumb to ask what it is and what it means, they're not my client.
I've tried 1,000 times to say that word. I screw it up every single time. So
You
I'll just drive it down.
just say it.
Eudymologist.
Eudaimonologist.
I die as I moan as I die. All of what?
Yeah. All right, Fran, take away from today.
Well, this has been just delightful. You know, it's confirming exactly what I've been doing for the last 6 months.
Upgrading.
Absolutely.
Upgrading. Wonderful. Annie, take away from today.
You blew my mind again. I'm going to go back and revisit my offer
Okay.
and massage it and really go for that extra zero.
Nice. Nice. I love it. Michelle, take away.
Well, I think for me, I'm just realizing how much I'm bumping up against my own fear of success.
Yeah.
So that's where my work is.
Awesome. Let's have a conversation about that. Stefan, take away from today.
Well, first, I'm still hanging on to that beautiful acorn analogy. Loved that. It just kept splintering in my head, and I was like, yeah, that's something there. But also this idea of the people in your surrounding, the people in your environment, these aren't your high ticket buyers. Because I kept thinking, I'm my client, I'm me, I can't afford that. And it's just like you need to go find another circle. You need to go find the other places where these people are going to pay that high ticket. It's not that you're too expensive, it's that the people can't afford you. And I think I've heard you say that before, Gordon, and that's what I'm taking with me. So thank you all so much for the space.
Yeah, love it. Love it. Rhonda, take away.
That I need to get a lot more comfortable adding a zero to the end of my offers. And
you want to. I
want to. Yeah. And combine that with hell yes offers for both.
Yeah.
Because I live a hell yes life.
You do. You do. And listen, I'm going to say something in front of everybody because you know I don't hold back when I get a message or inspiration.
You're not going to make me cry, right?
Probably. You are fearless. You are ballsy. You dye your hair funky colors and wear youthful clothes, and you're adventurous and you're real, and you know AI, and you've built, I'm getting goosebumps. Like you have done the work to live the lifestyle that you live, and it is effing valuable. Spend more time with me. I will make you believe it. Seriously.
Thank you.
I'll tell you that every day if you need it. Al, take away from today.
Yeah, create a freaking awesome, vivid outcome that results in adding an extra zero in whatever you're offering. And this will give you leaps and bounds in your coaching income.
Yeah. Love it. John.
Yeah, I'm really totally serious about how I feel about all this is that, well, serious, I don't know if that's the right word, is that what I have to offer is priceless. It's absolutely priceless. And that's where I sometimes struggle is, you know, what I'm asking for as I just keep going up and up and up. And then another thing that I want to take this to is the closer I get to my divine nature, and I can really give that to others in such a way that that's priceless too. So, you know, it's just who I'm becoming, I guess, and I just really appreciate everything that I've learned today from all of you. Thank you.
Well, I just had a vision of a country club tour for you, and call your local country club. Tell them you're a 76-year-old golfer with full range of motion, and you want to come and give a clinic at their club.
Actually, Suzanne, I've done that 20 years, you know, I've known them for 20 years, but I want to take this not only, you're right, absolutely spot on, but I also want to take that to every country club in the entire country. Yeah. And I want to get a partner like Gary Player to just confirm everything I'm doing because he's already lived that life. But at the same time, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That's perfect.
You're welcome. Yeah. Dharma, takeaway from today.
I am clarity under pressure.
Say it again.
I am clarity under pressure. I found my one sentence. I have gone through so many different translations of it, but that one is true.
Love it.
Because I know I can stand in it. So.
Love it.
Yeah, that was thank you.
Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for clarity under pressure. Love it. All right. Have a great night, everyone. Love that you were here. Please share your takeaways in the group. There's 100 coaches in that group, and you see who's showing up here for this work together. This truly is, it's not my work, it's our work. And actively working on these things every day gets you to that next level. Being in different rooms, finding something you're passionate about, helping out somebody who was on my podcast with his focus group led to 3 potential client conversations with very accomplished CEOs who know nothing about AI. Nothing, not a thing, not using it, not looking at it, have no idea what's possible for their companies. Well, I get to show them what's possible for their companies. And that's exciting, but it's only because I said yes to that opportunity and no to meaningless networking where people want me to buy their $27 thing. Okay. Have a great night.